Okay, we're live. Hi, Grandma Kay. We're kind of starting off here. I'm so happy we haven't got to do this. The mystery show for how long has it been since we have done our last one?
It's almost well. We did one in January, but it has been quite a while.
Yeah, because we kind of lost. We just kind of couldn't think of new things at the time.
We ran out of topics.
Yeah, but I thought that a good time to start this would be on Friday the 13th, because it's a day full of superstitions. And I thought I got some videos for you guys. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Mildred. So I was just telling Tanya, I says, we haven't done one of these since January because we kind of ran out of things to talk about. So I thought, hi, Sherry, that we do this on superstitions because today's Friday the 13th. And that's a big superstition for all of us. So I got some videos and I got some videos on a few different topics, and we'll see what we have time to see. And when I get done, if we have more time, then we'll have more time to talk. Hey, Jenny. Hi, Andrea. Who else we got in here? Sandy, Cindy, Lee. How are you guys? So if anybody who's in here, which I bet everybody in here knows, this is my friend Tanya. If somebody's watching this later and you don't know, my name's Deann. This is my friend Tanya Stingley. She has a channel called Tea Time with Tanya. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, in which I always message her or call her, and because I forget every single freaking time. And but she can always call me back later. But she does readings on politics, personal readings, whatever you want to talk about on there. And let me see if I got it right. Mondays 10:10, Wednesdays 10:10, and Fridays 11:11. If only I looked at the clock before I texted you in the middle of your shows, but I do not do that apparently. I keep thinking, why isn't she texting me back? And it's like, oh, never mind. I know why. Hi, Hershey. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. So, I was going to tell you before we start, if you have any, we're going to talk about superstitions today. So, if you have any superstitions that you have been brought up with or that your family has, believed in for your whole life, let us know. Go ahead and post it in the comments. So, we're just going to talk about all our different ones. So, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and I'll post. We'll see. I got a bunch of videos, so we're going to see. Hopefully they work because, sometimes my video, they don't come through. If they don't, I got enough where we have plenty to talk about. So I'm going to hit let's see. So I got to hit present, share screen. We're going to do our first one. Oh, and I want to tell you, hit hashtag manifest because I'm going to give away a free oil in honor of us doing our first, in a long time mystery show. So hashtag manifest, and at the end of this, I'm going to do a drawing. So, okay, let's see which one I want to do first. Now, I'll go down here. Okay, here's the one I'm going to do first. All righty, and down here. Okay.
The divine feminine, destroy the goddess in the society. Well, let's get into it. So, did you know that Friday the 13th actually isn't the most unlucky day? You're going to die and all these bad things are going to happen. Actually, it was just the patriarchy trying to thwart the energy of the divine feminine. Because back in the day, the ancient people, they used to worship the goddess. There used to be whole matriarchs, right? They worship the goddess on the 13th, Friday the 13th, Friday being ruled by Venus, the divine feminine, the 13 energy connected to the 13 lunar cycles that we all had because we're all naturally connected to the moon. Ashe. But yeah, the number 13 can be used to manifest, but also, more importantly, it's used to release things that no longer serve you. So if you're tired of having something in your life and you're really ready to go to the next level, say an affirmation. I am releasing X, Y, and Z 13 times and really focus your energy and attention. And be prepared because things will change.
Okay, that's one. I got a couple of them I want to show you here, and then we're going to talk. Okay. See? Go down here. And
happy Friday the 13th, another beautiful thing that the patriarchy groomed us to hate and fear. For a very long time, there has been quite a phobia around this sacred day. The narratives we've been told have not only conjured fear, but have also distracted us from the integrity of the day altogether. See, behind this cruel attempt to once again suppress the divine feminine, there's a beautiful history of Friday the 13th, and it all starts with the Norse goddess Freya.
Uh-oh, it got stuck there. I knew it might do that. That wasn't the whole thing, but I got one more, and we'll see. That's why I did several of them, so we'd have some choices here. Let's see here. And here we go. Try this.
Nothing to do with the Roman calendar or the Gregorian calendar, or the solar calendar that we currently live by. It has to do with the lunar calendar, specifically in the time of ancient Babylon. So they followed every 28 days was a new month, and they were the ones who named the days of the week that we still go by. Each day of the week is associated with a planet or a celestial body, and the ancient Babylonians used astrological science. It's called planetary hours. And so each hour of each day is in alignment with a different planet. So Friday, the first hour, is in alignment with Venus. So Friday is the day of Venus. And also, Friday was named after Odin's wife, Frigg, and she is representative of the goddess of Venus, and Venus is representative of Isis, Ishtar, the wife god, our creatrix. So this is an extremely powerful day for the divine feminine because of that, and because of the number 13. 13 is the number of the feminine because it is how many menstrual cycles we have in a lunar year, and we follow the cycles of the moon when we are in full alignment with our divine femininity. And it is quite a travesty that we have been taken off of this natural cycle. And this is just another way that the church and the elites have repressed the power of the divine feminine. Because when we are living by the cycles of the moon, we are at our most powerful. But modern day women are forced to live by a calendar that is not in alignment with our cycle, and so it throws us off entirely. I am learning to live by the lunar year, and it is actually so empowering and quite life changing. So I would implore women to start doing that if you can. The divine feminine needs to start reclaiming her power. There's never been a better time in history to do this. Okay? We've been given some rights, and we can piggyback off of those rights to take back what is ours and rise into our power. And part of that is honoring our own cycles and our own divinity.
Okay, so I'm going to stop there. So this is something I had never heard of before, that Friday the 13th represents the divine feminine, and that we had 28 menstrual cycles that lined up with the 28 moon cycles, which there used to be 28 days in a month, I heard, and they changed it to 30, 31, 28, and it kind of messed everything up a little bit. So, what did you think about that, Tanya?
I think what we're about to talk about today is so important because this is about bringing us as women, and this is what we need to understand as women. We as women have been hijacked. We were hijacked by the patriarchy. Everything that has been done is anti woman. They changed the months to unsync us from the cycle of the earth. This is pure, and for all my fellows out there, please don't get angry. But the men who did this was done because literally what they could not do that the woman could do. This is why they called women witches. This is why Julius Caesar added more months to the year to throw womankind off, to alter, to literally alter the movement of our world, our planet, our timeline, by subjugating the female, by putting the woman under the man's heel, goes against nature, goes against everything in nature. And ever since that was done, this our world has been in turmoil. The one thing that women need to know, and we need to embrace this, bloodlines come from the mother. They can only come from the mother. Why do I say this? An old rhyme that we used to say when we were little kids, or that some people's mamas used to say. They would say, mama's baby, daddy's maybe, because you only, the woman, knows who the father of that child is. And if that woman was a victim of any type of a sexual assault, which happened a lot in the dark ages, then how could you trace a bloodline to one man if that man was a marauding criminal who took advantage of a young girl or a woman and left his seed implanted in her belly? The bloodline comes from the mother, not from the father. Period.
Yes, and while kids need mothers and fathers, there's always that special bond for most of us, not all of us, but most of us with a good mother, there's always a special bond there with your mother. We were always brought up that and most of us were, that Friday the 13th is a bad day. I worked for an ophthalmologist, and if they were going to be doing surgeries, it was like, oh no, I can't schedule it that day. It's Friday the 13th. I'm not having my surgery that day. And what I didn't realize, and I grew up with my father. I don't know if I told you guys this, but he would never miss a day of work, ever, for nothing. But on Friday the 13th, he was very superstitious about that. He would not leave the house. He would not go to work. He would have my mother, don't know why she had to call him, but he would have my mother call in for him that he was sick. I don't know how they didn't catch on, every Friday the 13th. And reason that was, he got mugged on a Friday 13th. He lost his job on the Friday 13th. He got in a car accident on the Friday 13th. All these different things happen. But as I'm older, and we used to tell him, we thought it was funny. We'd go, hey, Dad, guess what day it is? And Mom would go, you kids, shut up. And I was like, what? Because if he didn't know, he'd go to work. Well, now that I'm older, I realized that, first of all, he was attracting those things to him. It may have happened once, but now he's attracted them because he kept thinking, oh, it's Friday 13th, something bad's going to happen, something bad's going to happen, something bad's going to happen. And so when he went out there, he probably was a little more nervous driving. He probably was bringing that low energy towards himself, but we didn't know anything about that then. But I certainly never heard that it was a day of Venus and a woman type day. And I also found out Friday the 13th, for everybody in here, I found out that today is the best day to manifest prosperity and finances and things like that. So if you want to light a green candle and maybe write what you want on a piece of parchment paper or a piece of a paper bag, fold it towards yourself and turn again and towards yourself, turn it again towards yourself, stick it under the candle and light it. Put your intention in that and light it. I use my oils, and I put oil on the candle and pull it towards the wick, towards me, because I want good things to come towards me, and light it. Today is a good day, they say, for that. So when I get done with the show, I'm going to light a prosperity candle and do a little prosperity ceremony for myself and for my family. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that too. But I mean, how many of you guys, other ones, have had, your family thought bad things about Friday the 13th or have feared Friday the 13th? It's almost like, and who made it that way, Tanya? Was it the patriarchy that made it that way for the fear? Who made it Friday the
Yes,
13th an
it
evil?
was. All of this, this is through numerology, through them. Let me say something, because I got a bunch of things going through my mind, and I'm going to kind of pick on the Catholic Church a little bit, but with good reason. So for all my Catholics, please don't get mad at me. This is just ancient history. Okay. All right. After the Crusades, when they were trying to get the whole world, this was the beginning of the New World Order, was the Crusades, to get everyone under one religion. Numerology and witchcraft is prevalent throughout the Bible and everything. The biggest grimoire in the world is the Holy Bible. Okay, that is the biggest book of witchcraft ever written. And there is so much numerology in there. But what they did was to change things that were good, to trick people into believing that they were bad. And they used numerology to do this. And this is how they bastardized the woman. They made the woman the villain of the story. They made the woman responsible for all of the evils that man creates. So much so, to the point this day still in the Middle East, that women have to wear burqas and full masks so that men aren't tempted. So what does that tell you right there? That if a man who is supposed to be the creator, the end all be all, can't even control his own lustful desires, how can he call himself a man?
Yeah. Yeah.
How can he position himself above women? But these are the same questions that today will get a woman killed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just think of, I often wonder, in the Bible, we are taught all sin, everything, all our suffering is because of a woman, Eve, and that she bit the apple, and
Lilith.
poor
It
little
wasn't
Adam.
even Eve. It was Lilith. The woman who that mankind has scorned wasn't Eve. It was Lilith. They turned Lilith into a complete demon. And Lilith was the mother of mankind.
Oh,
That's the missing story.
yeah, because there's horror stories about Lilith. I've watched horror stories about her. They've made her an actual demon, that she goes, and they used to have in Italy where they would put something on the babies because they were worried she would steal their soul. And so, yeah, in church, did they ever tell us? Did they ever tell you about Lilith in church,
No,
Tanya?
nope, never.
They never told me. I never knew anything existed like that. I was watching a horror movie, and it was about Lilith. And I thought, who's Lilith? And I don't know how I got it on, but I was watching it, and it caused me to look it up to see who is Lilith. And they said she was the first woman. I'm like, what? Nobody had ever mentioned that. That should be something you would think that they would mention.
And
So
Lilith in the Bible, Lilith is the serpent that is telling Eve that if she eats of the fruit, that she will gain knowledge, and that she should eat of the fruit so that she won't be ignorant.
yep.
The first sin was woman educating herself. The
Yeah.
very first sin was woman educating herself.
I remember being a little girl, and I'm like, golly, they said they don't want, why did God not want her to have knowledge? And why taking a bite of an apple would make her have, all the women throughout history have pain in childbirth. All the men who have to work for their food now because of a bite of an apple. As a child, it didn't make sense to me. But they told me and told me and told me and told me growing up. And so women are made to be, it's like everything is blamed on the woman. If you're a strong woman, then you're a BIT, you know what else? CA. I told you, I sent you that thing, this one lady, they said, people say I'm a B. And she said, yes, I am. She goes, it stands for, what did she say? Oh, what did I tell you that stood for? My gosh, my brain is dead here.
Well, I can tell you what witch stands for, but I don't know what bitch stands for.
Yeah.
Witch is woman in total control of herself.
It said, let's see, when men call women bees, it's because they want to keep control of us. It said, so somebody had called her a bee, and she said, I forget where, I got to find it here. Doggone it. I should have wrote that down. I'll tell you here in a minute. I'll find that out. I've got it on here because I sent it to my daughter too, just to see what she said, about it. But, something about being in control. Oh yeah, being in control, honey. It stands for being in control, honey. And that's why they call us that, because when you have a woman that is a boss or has a high position, especially over a man, and if she has to tell the man what to do, she's called the B word. But if you have a man who is, seems to be, strong, they call him strong, they call him tough. They call him,
they call him an authoritarian.
Yeah.
They call him sir. That's what they call him. They call him sir.
Yeah, but they don't call us ma'am. They call us the B word.
Well, but that's why. That's why. And one of the things, because this came to me the other day, the universe dropped this little gem right in my lap. And this is all about hate. Hate requires having an inferiority complex. And that's what everything about between men and women is, an inferiority complex. One gender pissed off because it cannot do what the other gender does, and then overcompensates daily, trying to compare apples to oranges, simply because the male species cannot replicate itself without a female, but the female can replicate itself without a male. That is why everything is so messed up, because women, I don't want to piss nobody off, but the blueprint, the archetype, the original creation is the Black woman.
Yeah, because that lady I was watching today, and you guys have probably heard of her. She did the blue eye, brown eye test. She's an educator,
I love her.
I sent Tanya this thing I was watching. It was a discussion between three women and her. She was one of them. And, it was funny how she said, everybody who considers themselves part of the white race, stand up. So everybody was standing up that considered themselves part of the white race. Okay, now everybody who considers yourself part of the Black race, stand up. Some more people stood up. Oh, then she goes, okay, now the red race, the yellow race, the brown race. And so she goes, okay, now everybody's standing up, right? And they said, yes. And she goes, okay, everybody. And so each one in different times were standing up. She says, everybody who considers yourself part of the human race, sit down. They all sat down at once. And she said that, and now everybody who considers themselves mixed, stand up. And then some stood up. She goes, sit back down. She said, she had been accused of being a traitor to her own race, the white race. She said, what did she say? She says, I am not a traitor to the human race. And that's all I care about. And she says, if you go back far enough, 30, 40, 50 generations, we are all cousins, and we all originated in Africa. So she says, I want you to look to your left and look to your right and shake hands with the person next to you and say, hello, cousin, because we are all cousins.
But that needs to be refined a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody on this planet is not a human being.
No.
Everybody on this planet does not possess a soul. And we need to recognize that. Oh, we need to recognize that. There are so many people who are walking around this simulation who are nothing more than NPCs, non player characters. They are soulless entities that are literally walking a pattern in this matrix. So not everyone, and this is true, not everyone is a human being. Number one, not everyone has a soul. So what she was trying to do for the people who are human, that experiment was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked so well on the children. But the thing is, it 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 when she introduced it to the first grade class, the first grade class, it broke them because they all had empathy. When children get older, they can learn to ignore their empathy. Adults can learn to completely shut off their empathy. And I didn't understand until I was like yesterday years old that not everybody in the world is empathetic. Not everybody in the world can feel somebody else's pain. I didn't understand that some people actually got enjoyment out of seeing other people suffering. I was like 55 years old, a captain for the Department of Corrections, a whole grown ass woman who had no idea that people could be mean just to get enjoyment out of seeing other people suffer from what they are doing. And I thought I was the weird one. I thought I was some kind of, that I was not smart or something. I really didn't understand how callous people can be. I didn't understand that love doesn't flow freely in everyone.
No, because they asked her, they said, well, how do we talk to people about this topic without getting people to shut themselves off or, shut down or not listen? She says, well, then nothing you can do about it. I can't control how you receive something, but I can control what I do and what I say. And so says, I can't control if you're going to be receptive or not receptive. And she said, racism is taught at a young age, at a very young age, to hate the same people your parents and your grandparents, whatever, hated. You are taught that. You are not born with that. Anyway, if you've never got a chance to look on my community page, this talk I'm talking about is on my community page. I thought it was so important. I put it on there because I think everybody should listen to this lady and hear what she has to say. Everybody should hear this discussion. I know that was a little off topic, but I will say, when you said not everybody has a soul, not everybody has empathy, the first person I thought is the orange man in the White House.
Oh, the Taco Trump.
The taco. And I never seen her say, if you identify with being orange, stand up. Because that's not even a human color. He's not even a human color. But yeah, he has no empathy. He can see things happen and he has no empathy. I wanted to see some of these comments we have before I go to the next video. Friday the 13th, Mary Epperson says, has always been a good luck day for me. Hey, Miss Taro D, I missed you. Oh, we need to talk again soon. He said, Miss Taro D says, all the men out here should be agreeing and supporting women in solidarity, since it is woman who gave us life. Yeah, you wouldn't be here without your mothers. Who kissed your boo-boos when you had them? Who fixed your dinner most of the time? Who comforted you? It's usually the woman.
Well, I think people need to look at it on an even more basic level than that. What portal did you come through to be on this planet?
Yes.
Because the vagina, the womb and the vagina is a portal. It is a doorway to a whole different galaxy.
Yeah, that baby's actually, it blew my mind how you can take a newborn baby, they say, and just almost throw them in the water and they can swim because they're living in water in the mother. And so that they said the best time is to teach them is when they're babies. Says we need a lot more of the divine feminine and less male energy. What would our country be looking like right now if Kamala would have won? I'm not saying things would have been perfect. I'm not saying that. But would we be seeing all this cruelty? Would we be hated all over the world? Would our country be on a watch list for being anti-humane?
But see, understand what's going on. Now, Mexico did what was supposed to. This is the beginning of the age of Aquarius, the divine feminine. Every country should have elected a female president, including Canada. And there were some that were elected. Kamala should have won. But the one thing that I have to say is that Kamala didn't win because of the unfinished business that this nation has with the timeline. And that we can't go forward until the travesty is taken care of, because we can't go forward with a broken system. And the one thing that the chicken taco is doing, and we have to give credit where credit due, but he is showing exactly how vulnerable our our oh goodness gracious, Constitution is, how fragile our governance is over our whole country. It only takes a couple of traitors in the right positions and you can take down what used to be considered the most untouchable nation on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they say, well, there's what do you call it? You've got the Congress. Well, Congress isn't doing anything. Then you've got the judges. Well, what good are they if the president isn't listening to
When
them?
they're all crooks.
Exactly.
That's what we got to say, because it's not just the criminal in charge. It's not just the man with the 34 felonies that's doing all this. The Supreme Court is helping him. The Congress is helping him. The Senate is helping him. They are all criminals at this point. And they are all complicit in
and
the
it's not
downfall
just
of
him.
America.
It's not just him. It is all the people that are going along with this. So we have to see the ugly for the ugly to be fixed. And so anyway, off topic again, but yeah, when you just talked about people without a soul and no empathy, that's what got me. Will say, I guess, he just doesn't have any empathy except for himself. And we all know that. Somebody said, Alisa said, Belle said, I could never figure out why they blamed Eve. And then, let's see, is it Leah Sava? Said Friday the 13th is not a thing in Jamaica. I learned about it in the States. Huh. That's interesting. And Miss Taro D said, and the baby is grown in the placenta, which is made of blood and feeds and nurtures and keeps the fetus grown in the mother. Yep. That's true.
A world inside of a world. So the womb is the carrier. The womb is the portal, the space. And then the baby is in the umbilical sac inside of the placenta, with the placenta and all of that. A man cannot do that. And no. in just that little bitty thing is a whole lot of hate.
Yeah, because they said
a woman is a creator. A woman literally is God. She takes from herself and creates another being. What do we consider God? The creator. Yes. What is woman?
Creator.
Now, for everybody who does not believe you are God, please listen to what I just said and see it for what it is. They have bastardized and made us scared of our own nature. Our divinity is inside of us. We are the creators. We are divine beings. We are guided and led by the universe, but our power is not outside of us. And I'm sorry, but it does not come from a being that cannot replicate itself. I know I just pissed a bunch of people off.
Well, I know that they used to have midwives, and back in the old days, men would have to leave the room while the women would come in there and help the other woman have the baby. And the men outside would get jealous of that. So, and then Hershey said, oh, I definitely agree. The blood comes from the mother, the seed, the father, but the blood, that's the mother. And then Sherry said, every Friday the 13th, I wouldn't go to school. I know, because we were taught to fear this day. Hershey said, my oldest son has a lot of siblings on his father's side, but he'll tell everyone he only has one blood brother, and that's the other one I birthed. He has many siblings, but only one blood brother. Yeah, because you always talk about that. They're the same blood. We have the same blood. What is Mickey Mouse said? I always claim Friday the 13th was my lucky day. And that's good, because today is the best day to manifest, one of the best days to manifest. If you're trying to do a prosperity spell or something like that, do it tonight. It's and it's right after. Wasn't yesterday a full moon?
The 11th was.
Okay. So, it's coming after a full moon too. So it's kind of a powerful day, not a day to be afraid of. And Mildred says, I was raised by my father. Thank the Creator he let us decide if we wanted religion in our life. Most of us don't really have that choice. We are told we have to go or be brought. We always celebrate this day. And that, I think I'm going to now too. I'm going to take back what my father made me afraid of, and I didn't even know why I was afraid of it, but my father was afraid of it, so afraid he wouldn't go to work. So, it made me wonder why. My grandmother was like that too. She was very superstitious. Don't, black cats, ladder. I'm going to talk about black cats here in a little bit too.
Right.
Hershey said 13.
The most magical creature on the planet we gonna talk about, the one that they bastardized and told everybody that is evil. No, we need to talk about the black cats now. If you got a black cat around you in your life, you are blessed. You are protected. You got
I always was attracted to them,
watching over you.
If I was going to have a cat, I'm allergic to cats, but if I was going to have a cat, I would have a black one. I would. And I don't know why. I always liked them. I thought they're kind of, me, Bewitched was my favorite show growing up. That's who I wanted to be, other than I didn't want a husband that I have to have their drink ready and, all the stuff that she had to do. But I wanted the magic like that. Hershey says 13 is lucky in itself, but it also, the addition of 4, because you add 3 and 1, you get 4, which is a very stable number. It stands for stability. Mm-hmm. And she says 4 in numerology's meaning is foundation, stability. So it has a very stable foundation. So that's what 13 is built on. And let's see, Miss Taro D said Italians are more fearful of the number 17. This fear, because Miss Taro D is Italian, so she knows. This fear stems from the fact that the 17 Roman numerals is an anagram of, oh gosh, what are those numbers? I don't know. Whatever that is, 5. I don't know Roman numerology too much.
Well, 17 is the first one. Roman numeral 17, that's XV11. And then V1X1. V is 5, 1 is 1. X is 10, 1 is 1. So 5, 1, 10, 1.
Yeah, I'm not doing math. Math is my nemesis. Math is my nemesis. But he said, I have lived in Latin. Let's see. And Ms. Terrell D also says some consider this a bad omen as it applies that death is just around the corner. Okay. And I have two. Okay, well, we'll hold off your comment till we do the black cat one. And let's see. I want to see, is there anything else? Oh, and then Sherry says, I wondered why no one ever talks about Lilith. Thank you. I never even had heard of her until I grew up. Hershey says the book of Lilith, that was removed from Now Said Bible. It's quite interesting. Oh, there's a book of Lilith? I didn't know that. And it has a whole lot of depth that is removed or taken away from everyday knowledge, in my opinion. Hershey, I'm going to have to look that up. I never knew there was a book of Lilith. So let's go ahead and do the black, see about some black cats. Okay, I'm going to hit share screen. And let me go down here. All right, let's see which one I want to do. We'll do this one first. And let me turn up my volume first just to make sure y'all can hear it. Okay.
You trying to get out of the way of this cat. How many of y'all grew up with the same superstitions I did? My grandma, the one who drilled it into my head, said, child, if you see a black cat, you better get out of its way. You better haul ass. That's what I used to do, looking silly as hell. As I began watching nature, I started learning a whole lot. I always wanted to know why they always land on their feet, why they say they have 9 lives, why they always disappearing when I see them, coming out of nowhere. This literally happened to me the other day. Look, this me sitting in my car in the driveway, sitting there pondering on a move I wanted to make. I look up and look what's coming in the driveway. After I snapped this photo, I got out the car because I was trying to take a video of it. Cat was gone. Was not under my car. Unless it flew, it couldn't have went in that backyard that fast. But like I said, they travel between dimensions. Cats have been worshipped, mystified, as well as feared across many different cultures for many centuries. From ancient Egypt to modern folklore, they've always had an otherworldly presence about them. Cats have an unnatural ability to survive certain situations. I'm talking about situations that other beings would not survive. This is why they say cats have 9 lives. Which I know on a deeper level, 9 holds esoteric meaning. 9 is the number of completion, the unseen, and higher consciousness. Number 9 is the highest single-digit vibration. It also represents cycles, rebirth, and transformation. Just like a cat, which seems to cheat death. I know cats are real spiritual and they exist between worlds, like I've been saying. Ancient cultures saw cats as beings who could reincarnate over and over and over again. It wasn't just about dodging death in one lifetime. It was about their ability to return, always finding their way back. You ever watch a cat that's staring at something that you can't see that's there? But you can tell there's something there. Sometimes they might randomly bolt into another room, like they chasing a ghost. It's because they probably did. Cats are natural energy sensors. They're highly sensitive to frequencies beyond human perception. Cats can see spirits, entity, and energies that exist beyond the physical realm. Cats act as certain guardians and they keep certain energies away from your house. This is why cats tend to sleep in doorways or even on your chest. They're literally protecting portals. I started studying the ancient Egyptian. That's when I learned about cats. Ancient Egyptians worshipped cats as divine beings. They knew that they could travel between the spirit world and the physical world effortlessly. Cats move in silence, almost like they levitating or some shit. You ever notice how you don't never hear a cat walking? That's why everybody said they sneaky. It can sense literal shifts in energy, things like impending danger or someone's true intention. Did y'all know they have healing frequencies in their purr? Their purr promotes healing in bone and tissue. Just telling y'all what science say. Yeah, I know I don't just go off of what science say. Most people with a cat can probably attest to this. Cats have deeply intuitive bonds with their chosen people. They have an independent, untamed nature. Some ancient cultures say that cats were never fully domesticated, literally just chose to live amongst us humans. You didn't choose your damn cat. Your cat chose you. That was based off your energy alone. But if a cat has entered your life, especially randomly, it might be protecting you from something unseen. Could be going through a spiritual awakening and they're here to guide you because you know they are spiritual guides. Cat might also be similar to you. You need to gain more awareness, intuition, or independence. So yeah, cats are not bad luck. Contrary to what the elders taught us, they're guardians, they energy workers, they're spiritual protectors. Walk between worlds, they see what we can't. They remind us that reality is more mysterious than what we think. If you got a cat or one randomly walks up to you, pay attention. A lot of times there's a message. I want to know, have y'all ever experienced something unexplainable with a cat? Make sure y'all get in the comments and let me know. And if you enjoy all things deep thought, you live near or in the Atlanta area, make sure y'all come on out to my Puff and Paint event February 28th and March 1st. We're going to have food food, a live DJ, painting, indulging in your favorite activity, judgment-free zone, and of course, dope conversations with a dope soul like myself. Shout out to everybody who already got their tickets. I'm excited to see y'all. Fellas, we got a lot of ladies coming. I'm not trying to play love connection or nothing, but we need y'all to come balance some of this energy out. I want to see y'all there too. As always, peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
Okay, I'm going to put one more. And I've got all these, I want to tell you, all these videos, it's in the description box. So if you want to check out this creator's channels, you can check them out. So, I want to make sure I give them the shout out that they need to. So let's see here. I want to show you. Okay, here's another one.
Let me say something before you hit play.
Okay.
If you guys are having a problem hearing the audio, if you plug in your headset, you'll be able to hear the audio very well. Okay.
Okay, thanks for telling them that. Because, I have it turned up full blast, but sometimes, and you can always watch it later, too. If you miss some of it, you can watch it later and put your earphones on, or you can, maybe go down to the links below and you can check out the videos that maybe you didn't feel like you could hear as well and listen to them. Put your earphones on and listen to them then, too. All right, so here's another one.
Like any other cats, black cats are no different. But somehow, in some way, they got a bad rep throughout history. But it could be further from the truth. But first, my name is Sade. I speak about all things spiritual. If you're into that type of thing, go ahead, give me a follow. Black cats symbolize the divine feminine, intuition, protection and good luck, wisdom and safety, healing and transformations, and for some reason, bad luck. Before I go into the history of why they are considered to be bad luck, I do feel some type of way that a lot of the black animals and insects are seen to be negative. To be honest, really just the color black. My spidey senses are sensing deep programming, if you will. But hey, it's neither here or there, I guess. Cats have always been seen as powerful since ancient times. That was until the 13th century, where Pope Gregory IX declared war on cats. Specifically the dark-colored ones. Go figure. They started unaliving all the cats, and in return, all the rats pretty much destroyed everything. Also known as the plague. Witches were also seen as direct competition from the quote-unquote church. They saw the power of herbs and also were very empathetic towards animals, including black cats and cats in general. And so the black cat was demonized again. At the end of the day, trust your own intuition, tap into your inner magic, know that you're being protected, and maybe expect good luck.
Okay, so I'll stop there. So that was a lot of good information about black cats that I did not know. Well, oops, let me turn down this. I got it turned way up for you guys, so I thought maybe you could hear it better. So I don't know if it helps me turning it up on my end. So if you can't hear it, like Tanya said, get some earphones. But yeah, I was always taught, never let a black cat cross your path. And, so, and they also said too, like if they cross on the left side, it means one thing, like to turn around or something. And if they cross on the right side, then good luck is coming to you. But there's so many superstitions that we have grown up with, and that is one of them.
One of the things about that is, with all of that programming, don't let a black cat cross your path. How many blessings, how many things that people were trying to manifest that were coming to you in the form of that black cat, and you rejected it because of fear.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth. Lori says, black cats are very good luck for me. I will be adopting another house panther in the near future. House panther. I like that. Yeah, they do remind you of panthers, don't they? Well, they are kind of.
And see, I'm like you. I'm allergic to cats. But the two little girls that I fostered last summer, they had cats. And I am still taking care of those two cats. So every morning outside of my front gate, I've got water and food and a little cat toy for those two cats. I got a solid black cat. His name is Pop Smoke. And the white cat, she's a gray calico, and her name is Kit Kat. And every time I see them, it lightens my heart. And Pop Smoke, and like I said, I'm allergic, and these are not my cats, but Pop Smoke, this is a big old fat cat. He's a big boy, but he rolled over and just exposed his whole belly to me when I fed him. So I know that they are communicating, and I know that the law of reciprocity is working between me and them cats.
I do have a black and white a dog though, a little Cavapoo, but I swear she's half cat because she will get around my neck and lay around like wrap around me like a cat, and then she lays her cheek on my cheek, or she sleeps with her head on top of my head. And then we say we got an animal that had many. We had got many animals in one. She lays back, her ears are pointy, they go up, and her little fangs come. She looks like a little bat, and then she hops like a bunny. When she's happy, she hops, and she just she's my substitute cat too, because she like I said, she goes around me like a cat. She cleans her paws like a cat because she seen my daughter's cat did that, and so she come home and she started cleaning her paws. Like, well, that's a good idea. She don't like to be dirty. Mickey Mouse says, I have two big, black, beautiful kitties. I love them. I used to hear black cats were bad luck. Not for me. I feel blessed and lucky to have them in my life. And Mildred says, I had an epiphany yesterday about the phrase bad luck. I will never use that term again. I will say negative energy, which can be changed. I like that.
There you go. And words matter. Words matter. And y'all, for those of you guys out there who love words, please do not use words that you do not know the meaning of. Please. Number one, every word carries a spiritual vibration. And if you're using words incorrectly, oh, curses are real. So be mindful of your words. And again, don't use words that you don't know the meaning of. Make sure that you're conscientious and that you are intentional about everything you do in these days. Intention matters, okay? Intention matters.
You know, I watch a lot of those the other YouTubers that have mystery channels or show different things. And a lot of them will say, instead of saying understanding, they'll say overstanding, innerstanding, or they'll say grand rising instead of good morning, because morning is like if somebody dies, you're at a funeral, what do you do? You're mourning, and so they'll say grand rise. So yeah, I've noticed that they change the words of some things, and I've learned a little bit about what some of those words mean. I'm still learning.
And we should talk about some of them. The very first one, good morning. Mourning is what you do after someone dies.
Yeah.
And so these are the spells that were put on us. This is the programming that we are under. All of these words lower our vibrations. That's why I say greetings and salutations instead of
good morning.
Good morning. Yes, because I'm not mourning your death. I'm celebrating your life.
Yeah, you say greetings and salutations. One of the guys I watch, he always says grand rising, everybody, So I thought, I never really thought about that. You were just programmed to, these are the way
it lowers your vibration. It lets you, it opens you up to illness, to dis-ease, because you're speaking down to yourself. Literally, you're putting yourself in the grave. And that's what all this is. All of this government stuff is to sap our spiritual energy. We as human beings are currency. We are pure currency, worth more than silver, worth more than gold. Our consciousness is the Holy Grail. And that's what all these men want to possess, to control, so that we can be their slaves. A bunch of evil people wanting to enslave the entire world. And they've been doing it through words, advertisements, and music.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of that music is very negative, very negative.
It's not the words of the music. It's the
Tones.
tone that was changed, the frequencies that was
Oh.
changed.
Yeah, because I listen to there's solfeggio frequencies and binaural beats and look up what those frequencies mean. And a lot of the monks had used those frequencies, and they were kind of kept from us for the longest time. But you can find those now. I've got
All
one that's pure
I'm
tone
sorry.
frequencies without the music. I like the pure tones. I don't like the music with it. I like to hear the tone. I don't know why. The music distracts me a little.
Yes.
What were you going to say?
All of the ancient churches, what they call churches around the world, every one of those ginormous ancient churches has a great big cymatic in the very front of it. Every one of them, every one of those quote unquote churches is a different frequency. And when they are played in succession, creation is made. And it's about to happen because that's the one thing that they did not tear down. They tried to tear down everything else from the civilization that was before us, but they did not tear down the churches, and those churches will sing again.
But you know what they did take down? The bells on a lot of them. They took a lot of those bells, and I guess those because of the frequency.
Yes, yes, yes. But the thing is, the frequency is imprinted on the front of all those buildings, so it can be recreated.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, Lori, I was going to say, Lori said cats domesticated themselves. And every cat has had, what does you say, Mildred? Every cat I have picked me up. I have a pack. Mildred says, I have a plaque on my door that says all visitors must be approved by the cat.
Right on.
I have a pure white cat from Thailand. Pure white or black are considered more sensitive because they are pure. Hmm. Cats are smart and spiritual. Lori says
Can
black cats
talk.
are. Hmm.
Cats can talk. And let me say this again.
Yeah.
Cats can talk. They can talk, and it doesn't matter what language you speak. Your cat can speak your language, and if your cat starts talking to you, it is an entity. It is no longer your pet. It is now your peer. Please understand that. And if a talking cat comes to your door, it is not yours. You might want to be a little. You might not want to let it in.
Well, I've never seen that, but I've seen dogs that say "I love you," but I've not
No,
seen a cat talk.
their
I have
cats
had
can
one.
talk. Cats can have
Interesting.
like certain birds. Cats can have a conversation with you.
That is cool. Lori says black cats are considered lucky in many cultures around the world. Black cats are very sweet and they're lucky for me. And that's you. Let's see here. And you're allergic to cats too, but I love my boo boo. So do we have time for another video or two
Go
real
ahead.
quick? Okay. All right. I'm going to do another one for you. And this is, let's see what I want to do here next. I got quite a few of them. So I want to see. Okay. I want to do superstition. Cats with messages. Okay. Superstitions. All right. Let's see. What is this? Oh, okay. Well, I'll see what this one is. Oh, hold on. I got to pause a second. I got to get the volume on.
You as a superstitious woo-woo person, and you might want to save it so superstitious
I want to turn my volume up real quick so you guys can hear it a little better. Okay, here we go.
woo person, and you might want to save it so you don't do some of these things too, in case you don't know about these things. So all of what I'm going to talk about in this video relates to mirrors. So these are my personal superstitions. I know a lot of people believe that if you break a mirror, that's 7 years of bad luck. I don't necessarily believe that one, mainly because I'm clumsy, so I'm just choosing
not to give that one any power. But a few things that I will not be doing with mirrors. So a lot of cultures have folklore surrounding mirrors and their own traditions and things that they do. So you'll see some people say that they cover mirrors after somebody passes away in a household as to not, I guess, confuse the spirits or have them stuck there. I don't really know, but a lot of people will tell you that mirrors are portals. I'm a big believer of that. So I will not sleep in front of a mirror. I will cover a mirror, turn a mirror, but I don't sleep with a mirror facing me. I just don't do it and will not do it. I will not look into a mirror in the dark or a dark blacked out mirror. Some people know about scrying or mirror gazing. I will not be doing either of those things. So if I'm in the bathroom, I'll turn the light off. I will not look in the mirror at all, especially not in the dark. Third thing I will not do, I will not be repeating any name any amount of times into any reflective surface at all. And that's, you know, who, Mary or Candyman. I probably wouldn't even say why would I need to say my own name? I wouldn't say my own name into a mirror. Then I just glanced up and looked into the mirrors. No, will not be saying any name, any amount of time into any reflective surface, into any mirror. But if you have any superstitions or know of any superstitions about mirrors, or if there's something like within your culture, leave it down below because I would like to know if there's some things that I'm doing that I probably should not be doing. Because I have a lot of practices that kind of center around mirrors, but those are my big don'ts as a superstitious woo woo chick. So let me know what y'all think because some people get really angry when I talk about superstition in my comments and I don't get it, but
Okay, and I want to do just a quick couple more on superstition, and then we'll just do a quick little discussion on it. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. What's this one? The end of the beginning. Let's see what this one is. Okay. All right.
You know you're about to manifest everything your heart desires the moment you stop giving a fuck.
Oh,
Like the moment you literally
that wasn't one that I wanted. Hold on. But that is a good one, maybe but yeah, I might look at that one later, but that wasn't one I had up there. I don't know where that came from. Okay, hold on here. Let's see. Superstition. Feminine Friday, spiritual messengers, believe in a mirror, it's trending. Is this the guy I was wanting to do? Let's see if this is it. I don't know who this is. Nope, that isn't it. I have one here. This is called
Dreaming with cats. Many people have been asking me what is the meaning of dreaming with cats.
I don't know why I'm getting these ones that I did not put on there. That's so weird. Like they just showed up. Okay. Let's see. Divine Feminine, Unlocking, Believing with the Mirrors. That one. Okay, let's try this one.
But these are a list of things that you probably should not keep in your home to head in the right direction. Number one, any type of plants with thorns or spikes, cactuses, these are bring a lot of negative energy into your home. Also, any type of dead plants, throw them away. And if you really like these, just keep them outside. Number two, taxidermy. Now, if dead plants bring negative energy into your home, can you imagine what dead animals will do? Bringing a dead animal into your home is the absolute juju no no. If it's dead, it has to go. Move on, dispose of it. You can only bring in life and good energy into your home. Anything dead and stale is going to do the complete opposite. Number three, empty rocking chairs. These are going to invite negative entities to sit in them or any type of negative source to come and like hang out. I've never really been a big fan of rocking chairs, especially of the ones that people sit on their porch because you're literally inviting anything walking by to just sit there and hang out. Put a pillow over them. I don't know, or just don't have them at all. Number four, black doors. Now, especially if it's the front of your house, you're literally inviting negativity into your home. These absorb it like the plague. Now, if your front door happens to face the north, it's the complete opposite. And number five, mirrors. Some cultures even believe that mirrors can steal your soul. This is why back in the Victorian era, Victorians used to cover these up anytime a person would pass away in their home in fear that the person's soul would get trapped inside of the mirror.
Okay, one last one, and we're going to see if I can get. There was one I wanted to show you, Southern superstitions. Let's see. Here we go. And okay. Uh-oh. Got to get the thing off. Okay, here we go.
And legends. We'll kick it off with number five. Death always comes in threes. As a healthcare worker myself, this has always seemed to be true. When one person passes away, I often look for two others to follow. Number four, if you're out having a drink with your buddies or having a drink by your lonesome, make sure you pour one out on the ground to satisfy past spirits. That one actually goes back to ancient Egyptian times. Number three, if a pregnant woman looks at a deceased person at a funeral or anything like that, then their child will be born with a birthmark. It's called being marked. I'm going to take number two and expand it a little bit. There's various ways of warding off evil spirits in the South. You may be driving through the South and see somebody's porch painted blue, the roof of it. That's called haint blue. Haints are spirits trapped between this world and the other world. The color blue is known to ward them off. You may walk into somebody's house and see a broom above their doors. It's usually one of those women brooms or something like that. That is used to believe to keep witches away from your house. You may be driving by somebody's house and see a tree out in their yard with bottles on the branches. Those bottles are believed to collect spirits roaming around. If you have an apple tree in your yard, always keep at least one apple on there to keep the devil away. And last but not least, if you ever see a mirror hanging on the porch or by the door, don't touch it. It is said that the devil loves himself so much that he'll stand there and look into the mirror all night long until sunrise, and he will not enter your house. And number one, there are two ways around here that I like to keep bad luck away. If a black cat crosses my path, I draw an X. And if I spill salt, I like to take a pinch and throw it over my left shoulder. That keeps bad luck away. If you throw it over your right, you will gain bad luck. I've always been taught those things since I was a kid, and I still do them to this day. People around here are always superstitious, and for good reason. You may think they're a little bit crazy, but sometimes you might just want to slow down and take a listen.
I know some of those superstitions. How about you? I seen you laughing about the broom.
I got the broom over my door. I wish I could pick up my laptop and just walk you to my kitchen and you could see my little whole witchy setup. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes. A lot of those superstitions I partake in.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I was taught the other ones were if you break a mirror, it's 7 years bad luck. And what was another one? Step on a crack, break your mama's
Break your
back.
mama's back.
I remember going to school, like I had to walk by sidewalks and some of the cement was cracked. I'd be like trying to get over those cracks because I took that literally. I was somebody as a kid, as I've told you, I did not understand sarcasm. And I ended up having the most sarcastic daughter in the world. And here I did not understand it. I took everything literally. So when they said step on a crack, break your mama's back, I'm like, I'm not breaking my mama's back. I was going real slow. But some of those things you take literally. I was told don't open an umbrella in the house, that it's bad luck. I started to do that as a kid. I started to open it up. My dad's, oh, no, don't you open that umbrella. Did you ever hear the one about don't put a hat on the bed? This one lady said.
Oh God. Oh, you could not. Oh, you would get hit in my house if you took your hat off and put it, if you didn't put it upside down, where the top was open, wherever you took that hat off, it had to be sitting on the top. It could not be sitting like the way that it's sitting. You could get assaulted in my house over a hat.
Why is that? What is the reason for that? I heard that.
Negative. It's energy. It's negative. It's taking that energy, all the stuff that you've been walking around in, that's been on your mind, and you go and you lay it down in somebody's house, and you leaving all your garbage in somebody else's house, all the things that you've been thinking of, dreaming of, or doing. So it's an energy thing with the hat, because it's been on your head collecting your thoughts all day, your intentions all day. Oh yeah, you get beat up in my house over a hat.
Well, good thing I don't wear hats. Don't have to worry about that. But I know there was also one that you don't let nobody sweep over your feet, because
Oh
if
no,
they
no,
do,
no.
and you
Uh-uh.
won't get married, or you're going to have bad luck, and the only way to reverse it is to spit on the broom.
To spit on the broom and turn around in counterclockwise 3 times.
Yes, yes. I heard that one too. And then don't lay your purse on the floor. I just heard this
Or
one.
you'll be
Don't,
broke. Yep.
right?
If you put your purse on the ground, you will be broke. You will never have money. So, all you ladies out there, please listen to this, because money is energy. And where you put that energy is where that energy will resonate. If you put your money on the ground, your finances will always be low. Don't put your purse on the ground ever.
I
Ever.
have a Hispanic friend. I was at her house. I always laid my purse on the ground next to me. And I was over at her house, and I was sitting at her kitchen table, and I lay my purse down next to my chair. She goes, no, 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 don't put your purse on the ground. I'm like, what? And she says, her mother taught her, you put your purse on the ground, you're going to lose money. So now I'm like, where do I put my purse? To find us, because I like to have it close by, so I can, if I need to get something out. But it's like I don't have nothing next to me to put it on, so I've got to figure something out. But yeah, I just heard that one. I had not known that one,
Yes.
and I didn't know the one about the hat. Oh, and
How
just see,
about this one? I love this one. If you want your baby teeth, your newborn's teeth to come in, then you hang an egg in a stocking above the door that the child goes in and out of the most, and that child's teeth will come in with no problem.
Yep. And then the broom, turn the broom upside down if you don't want company or something like that. He said witches, but I heard if you don't want company, turn the broom. I had the brooms. I bought those cinnamon brooms, because I like the smell of them. And I put it beside my door. Well, I had them with the thing up. And my daughter comes in and she goes, Mom, are you saying you don't want me here? I'm like, what? She goes, you got your broom turned upward. I'm like, oh, but I didn't know that meant anything. So she told me she knew that superstition. And Sherry says, now I know what to not do with my hat if I ever visit Tanya.
Oh no, you better either keep it on your head or put it in your lap, or you're gonna get tossed out feet first.
Now, everybody, I want you to put hashtag manifest if you want to be in the drawing. I'm going to do a drawing here in a minute. So I'm going to give you a minute or less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds to get hashtag manifest in there. Vivian says, never place your hat on the floor or in the bottom of a chair.
Yeah.
Ha. And let's see. Oh, Johnny says, my hat is off to you. Oh, that's funny. Oh, here's another old wives' tale. If you have a wart on you and you rub it with a rusty nail and throw it behind you and you don't see where it landed, what? And the work will go away. I'm not sure about that one. Let's see. I heard about, always paint blue on the ceiling on your porch. It's supposed to keep
And I
spirits
have
out.
that too on my front porch. I've got the Haint Blue water, the water symbol that is painted Haint Blue over my front door.
You do?
Yes, I do.
I thought it was pretty too. So I mean, it looks like the sky, and that's what it is. It looks like the sky. I never knew about the black door though. I like the broom superstition. It's near the door to take a ride. Do any of you remember when children used to step on a crack? Oh, yeah. Oh, to break the back of the devil? No, I always heard step on a crack, break your mama's
Break your
back.
mama's back. Because if they had told me it was the devil's back, I would have been stepping on all the cracks.
Me too. I would have been jumping on every crack, but I was sitting here doing gymnastics, trying not to step on a crack. It says, I have a horseshoe over my front door for good luck and abundance. Yeah, I've heard that's supposed to work too. My husband always marked an X on the window shield if a black cat crossed his front of his car. That is he Southern? Was he Southern? Appalachians have a lot of superstitions, and they also, you talked about witchcraft, things like that. They use the Bible for a lot of that too. You know, when
Grimoire.
when you talk about it being
the very first, the first entity that I banished was a necromancer. And I banished that necromancer. One of my children had brought this entity into my house, and I banished the necromancer using Psalms and the Bible. That was before I had learned anything about my own witchcraft. But yeah, my very first lesson, the first thing I banished, I used the Bible to get rid of it.
yeah, I've used Psalms for that too, certain verses. Yep. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a drawing for you. So let me get it up here. I'm going to put share screen again, and we're going to go to the giveaway thing. All right. And if you got hashtag manifest, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, gonna start doing it now. And hold on, you're gonna hit draw. Okay, Jenny, you won. So you can go to, I will show you. Yeah, I'm so happy for you. I'm going to show you real quick. If you want to go to the website, I've got the link in the description box. And you can go here, you can hit shop all, and I'm getting low on some things, but whatever you choose, it'll tell you when you click on it how many bottles I have. I'm getting some more stock of some more herbs and some more oil, some different things that I'm going to make some more, but I am getting low on things. So if there's something you want and I'm low, you want to get it. But here are the different oils. There's more. You can click on it. It'll tell you a little bit about what it is, like Jezebel. If you click on that one, it'll tell you a little bit about it. And just go ahead and let me get out of here. Gotta get up here. Just go ahead and what do I want to say? Text me. You can email me at deannshieldmaiden@gmail.com, or it would be better if you would text me at the business number. And let me give you that business number really quick. So that, and it's in the description box too, but I'll give it just in case you guys want it. It is 1-833-277-8105, or you can text or email deannshieldmaidentarot@gmail.com. But the number and all that is down in the description box. I also have Tanya's channel link in the description box, so go over there and support her. Anybody who wouldn't mind hitting the like button before you leave, it would really help me out. I'm trying to get to the 7,000, so we're going to have a party and some giveaways when I make it there. Every 1,000, I usually do some sort of a party or some sort of giveaways or something special for you guys. So anyway, I just wanted, and also I wanted to tell you, if you don't know what to pick, Well, this is for every oil. The free one is for every oil but the custom oil. But for those of you who do go on the site, you don't know what to pick, I do make custom oils. Tell me what it is you need it for, and I will make it specifically for you with the right crystals, with the right herbs. I will send you a thing letting you know what I used, why I used it, how many drops. The guides tell me how many drops to use of this and that. So I will send you a whole thing explaining it to you. It's a little bit more, but it takes me a good, 45 minutes to make those. So just if you don't know what to get, you can get a specialty, and there's also gift cards if you're wanting to do it for somebody else. And Tanya, before we go, Tanya, tell them about your reading. Do you do readings? And you have some things that you give away with your readings too.
All right. Yes. Okay, y'all. I do readings. Hold on. I do readings. I got 3 tiers of readings. I do readings by time, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 1 hour. And they're broken down with the price. The hour is only $65. The half hour is $35. The 15 minutes is $25. I have a special 1 hour reading with a sachet and a room spray. And like Deann's oils, I custom make all of them for whatever it is that you are desiring. So psychictanya9@gmail.com. You tell me what you desire, and I will create it for you.
So, and I send her my stuff. She sends me hers. We trade off because we both like each other's stuff. So, hers is really good. Yep. There's my oil she's got, and I've got her spray, and I got it in my room because I buy my bed. Cause she has sent me one called Let It Go. Yeah. It's cause I spray it whenever I catch myself worrying with everything going on. And it's like, I'll spray that to let it go. So, and their sachets, they last a good couple months. You can I put them in mine in a pillow because I like the smell of them and they help me sleep. So, but I wanted to tell you guys, thank you so much for coming. And I really enjoyed doing this again, Tanya. I miss doing these mysteries. They're kind of fun. I really enjoyed it. We'll have to do this again. And if you guys want to see us do the mysteries some more, or you have some mysteries that you have in mind that you would like us to speak on, put them in the comments and let us know, and I'll look at that, and anything you tell me you're interested in, I'll try to look it up and I'll put it on a list and maybe give us some more ideas. We need some more ideas, so help us out. And well, I appreciate you, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Please check out Tanya's channel. She's amazing and awesome. And I know that if you go there, you're going to love her channel. So, well, Tanya, thanks for coming on. And I'm going to go ahead and head out and put my pajamas on and go watch a movie with my hubby. So, all right. Y'all take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Tanya.
Bye.